Oh my God, I finished my first book of the year and it's only been 4 days into 2026. Hi, or welcome back to my channel. To be honest, nobody watches these videos apart from like three family members and somebody else. And they seem to comment a lot, so thank you if you're watching this. But I told my family to not watch the videos because it's kind of uncomfortable to talk about this because I do have a weird taste. So I don't really want them to watch these videos. Especially because the first book that I finished is a spicy book about monsters. Not only that, it's a reverse harem, and I don't typically tend to read these books. I do read a lot of spice, but I don't typically tend to read these type of books, which is a little bit out of my comfort zone. But I read the first one, which oh god, I have to explain. So this is a series. It's called the Tempting Monsters series, and I read the first one, A Lady of Brooksgrave Manor, on 2024, and I gave it 375 stars because it was a lot of spice, but I didn't feel like it really had a plot until like the last 15, maybe 30, 25%. And I do like a little bit of plot on my books. But I've been reading a lot of fantasy lately, and I was kind of falling into a reading slump. I wanted a lot of romance, and I was having trouble finding a book that was fast paced. And so I decided to give it another try to the second book of the series, which is The Company of Fiends. And I had a lot of fun. It pulled me out of my reading slump. I rated it 5 stars because it was great. So this book, the second, oh, maybe I should talk about the first one. The first one follows a woman that goes to work to a house of courtesans that cater to monsters, and she starts falling in love with like 5 different monsters, and there's just a lot of spice. The first one just has a lot of spice and nothing else. But the second one follows another woman, and she works on a theater that caters to monsters as well, but they kind of put on shows, spicy shows for the monsters, between monsters and humans. And she might not be fully human, and she starts to fall in love with different monsters as well. But this one also has a little bit of a mystery because there's a killer on the loose that seems to be targeting the woman that work on the theater. So we have to find out who that killer is. And at points, I felt it drag a little bit. It has a lot of spice as well. But the mystery was engaging, and I wanted to know who the killer was, so I was invested. It is a lot longer than the other book, than the first book. The first book is like 300 pages, the second book is 500 pages, and I devoured that book in 4 days. I started reading the book the 1st of January, and I finished it the 4th, which was yesterday, and it was a fantastic read. All the characters are so sweet, all the monsters. I thought it was going to be uncomfortable to be reading about monsters engaging with humans, but surprisingly, it wasn't. At least for me, kind of got over that, and they're sort of human passing. Like they have human characteristics. It's not like tentacles and stuff like that. Some of them have wings, some of them have tails, some of them are different colors, some of them have multiple arms. But apart from that, they're sort of very human looking, so it's not that really weird. And the romance was so sweet. All the monsters were so sweet. I liked them all. I couldn't choose which character was my favorite, but I'm gravitating towards Ronan because he's the funniest one. Hazel is a little freaky, which I can judge because I guess I'm freaky like that as well, if you look at my reading taste. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. It's kind of weird that this is going to be the first book that I finished this year, and I sort of hate it because it's gonna show up on my reading wrap ups as the first book that I finished. But also, since it pulled me out of a reading slump, I cannot be too mad about it. I guess I should have rated it 4.75 because it felt like it dragged a little bit. Like at some points, I was like, there's no plot happening. Like we're meant to be focusing on the killer and they're just focusing on the romance. But I guess that's what I was looking for at first when I started, so I cannot be too mad about it. But overall, I don't know if I would recommend it, but I enjoyed it and I had fun. And I probably will read the third book and the novellas that also are part of the series, but it's gonna take me a while because I'm not in the mood to read that anymore. I'm trying to read different books as well. This year, I want to read a lot of fantasy. and just reread a lot of books that I read when I was younger to see if I still like them. Yeah, this was a short one, but there's not much to say about it. So, yeah, that is it. Thank you for watching. Bye.